I have to say, this is probably the best possible outcome that Alice in Zouroku could have had for its final episode. Episode 12 not only wraps up and pretty much puts a nice bow on every little thing that could have been a plot hole if not answered, but at the same time making it feel so damn conclusive. I don't want a season 2. I never want to see more of this series, not because I hate it, but because it's so satisfying and it wraps up everything that it needed to. The fact that when this series started out, Zouroku was someone who wanted nothing to do with Sana. He was just like, magic and shit, I'm done. I'm just an old man who wants to work at his flower shop, leave me the hell alone. But you see their progression in their relationship and how he looks at her like a granddaughter by the end of the series. And how this wraps up, not only with the government announcing what this Alice's dream is and how other people can randomly be affected, which clears up why a couple episodes back, why some people started having that crystal appear in front of them. It's because of this world it was leaking and more or less gave other people powers. And the government fully explains how this is going to work. Reluctantly, they don't want to. But essentially, it clears up so everyone in the world knows what these abilities are, but at the same time, it not only wraps up a really nice stopping point with Sana at her current age, where she's starting to go to school, she has friends, she is a complete and utter normal girl, no longer viewed as a monster by the outside world, and she has a perfect family. But at the same time, we get a flash forward to see her adult self, and this is who I speculated it was. I know this was a big kind of like what if scenario, like who was this girl she saw back in the day, but the fact that she did make a joke because Sana in her younger self made fun of her older self because she didn't have that large of boobs, and then she makes a wisecrack, something along the lines of, oh, well, you'll eventually see how it feels later, or something like that. So it pretty much seemed to me like it had to be her future self. So we do get the confirmation because it's sort of like a narrator at the very end where you see her holding a bouquet of flowers, which does symbolize that Zouroku is dead because based on her character design, she looks like she's probably in her maybe like early to mid 20s. So obviously Zouroku probably is not kicking around anymore, which generally would be sad, but because of the way they framed it, it's so hopeful because she is pretty much thanking him because she got to have a normal life, she had a fulfilling life, and she still has so many years left ahead of her. And it's all because this old man gave her a shot and gave her a family, and it's this thank you. So you know exactly, yeah, she's gonna have some issues at school, she's gonna have some issues, and maybe some more like, supernatural things will happen in her life, but at the end of the day, she grows up to be a fine woman who got to have a normal life. Sure, she may have some magic abilities, maybe she did come from Wonderland where it was all insane, it was just colorful and kind of storybook, but she is now a functioning human being, and it's all because of Zouroku, who at the beginning of the series didn't want anything to do with her. And this is the perfect way to wrap it up. I know the manga continues past this and whatnot, but honestly, it didn't need to. This is how it should conclude, and I do not want a season 2. Like, if they were to announce a season 2, I would probably watch it just because I like the series, but there would be nothing that season 2's ending could do that would be as conclusive as this. This is how a series such as this should finish, and I thought it did it brilliantly. And like I mentioned last week, this could have a horrible episode or a great episode, and I would still look at the series with very good eyes. I would be thankful that this series existed. But I absolutely loved what this series did in 12 episodes, giving us more or less 2 seasons worth of content, fully wrapping up all the plot holes that could have been presented, like the whole abilities leaking into the real world, like the fact that we did see her future self and it was never 100% confirmed, like how Sana was born. Everything got wrapped up that it needed to, but at the same time progressing this overall like family relationship. The first season being the more escaping the facility, the second being the what happens after the credits, and we got to see everything that I think we needed to see, and this was a fantastic series. Honestly, it's one of the best series of this season, and I loved every single minute of it, and the weakest episodes aren't even that weak when you look at a lot of episodes from a lot of different series. I had an absolute blast with this series. It wasn't perfect 100% of the time, but goddamn did it not do a lot of things right. This was so satisfying, and I'll definitely be recommending this to a lot of people to watch if they ever ask for either a slice of life or a sort of like magical adventure show that does more things right than it does wrong. I mean, the art and animation wasn't always consistent in like top-notch quality, but I mean, at the core, it did have a pretty good standard that it kept, and JC staff did a pretty good job, especially with the voice acting. I think they really were able to manage to get a lot of emotional ranges from multiple characters throughout these past few episodes. I'm gonna miss this series, but I'm so thankful it ended the way it did. It was absolutely the 10 out of 10 ending that it needed to have to be a more or less perfect series in terms of the story and characters more times than not. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of the final episode, and how did you like that final moment at the very end, seeing adult Sana thank Zouroku, who has since passed. He's no longer alive and kicking in this world, but she's so thankful for the life that he gave to her. I thought it was heartwarming, and that's the star of the show, not just in this episode, the star of the entire entire show, like, in my opinion, like, this is the best moment in the past 12 episodes. But let me know some of your favorite moments down in the comment section below, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support for the new channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.